Hey everybody, I'm out here in a futile attempt to get a bird that's gone loose. The neighbors up the street, I saw it on our social media neighborhood site, and I don't go on that, but sometimes you get a feed into your email that says somebody lost an animal, and then I try to help. They let a cockatiel fly out of the house, and it's cold, it's supposed to rain, and it's going to be maybe a freezing rain with temperatures below freezing tonight. Well, what I've done here, let me show you. And like I said, you pretty much have zero chance of getting your bird back. So I'm going to talk about preventing this from happening, but let's just see what I can do about it right now. And we live on a busy street here, so there's a lot of traffic noise. Okay, if your bird gets out, what you want to do is put a bowl somewhere where they'll see it. Put a few seeds in it, not too many. And then I have a cage here. You put a little water in it, and then put something that the birds really like a piece of millet. Maybe you want to hang the millet up, or just set it in a bowl like this. And the next thing you want to do is get your computer on. Put the volume up as high as you can and play sounds. If you lost a parakeet, play one of the videos that has parakeet sounds. If you lost a cockatiel, in this case they lost a cockatiel, put on the sounds from a cockatiels as loud as possible, and hope that the bird's gonna find its way from hearing the sounds and maybe come back in the cage. But now you'd have to be watching, or you have to, if you saw my videos on the budgie cages, or you have to attach a long string to the door and run it back, where if the bird comes into the cage, you can be standing inside or somewhere and you can pull the string and slam the door shut. Okay, I don't have much hope for this because this bird can't survive in the cold. But I've got the noises and I got the food out, and that's all you can do. Now this was up the street, a few blocks up the street, so it's not necessarily that the bird is even going to be around here. It's like a needle in a haystack trying to find a bird, but I thought I'd give it a shot and see if anything happened here. And then we have all the traffic noises. You can hear the cars going by. So, you know, it's a futile attempt really to have a bird hear these noises, unless you live in a real quiet area or quieter neighborhood. But it's something to try. What's the first big no-no? Never have your bird in a room with a door that opens to the outside. You know how fast birds can swoop and fly? No matter how fast you are or how careful you are, that bird can be out the door before you're out the door. And it happens in the blink of an eye. Second thing is, your bird does need to be in a room where they can get some sunlight, preferably through a screen, because sunlight going through glass loses its its ability to create vitamin D in the bird. So, you know, you have your screens, but these screens can be chopped through. Now, these are screens. These are old damages from our cats when our cats used to be allowed into the dining room and front room area. And look what the cats did to the screen just with their claws. But a budgie or any kind of chewing bird can chew through this wire. Even if this is that nylon type wire, and the nylon wire is very easy to punch through. If you have wire that's the metal wire, it would be harder. But budgies and any type of parrot's beaks are very strong, and they can work at it, and they can make holes in it if they really work at it. All right, so here's another way your bird can get out, right through a screen. If your screens are loose and a bird flies into the screen, a cockatiel or a bigger bird, he might pop right through or pop the screen out of its track, and they can get out that way. So this is the number 2 reason birds can get out, is through a loose screen or a screen they can chew through. So if you have a bird in a room, it's great to give them fresh air, and it's great to let the sunlight will come in through the screen. It blocks a little of it, but it does give enough sunlight to the bird. But get some kind of a chicken wire or some kind of a hardware cloth wire. And now that is galvanized, and it's not good for your bird to chew on that, but make a framework that you can pop into the window to keep the bird from getting through a screen. Here's a third reason birds get out. Sometimes people take the whole cage out. I've gone for walks and I've seen a parrot or a cockatoo just sitting out by the neighborhood sidewalk in a big cage, and the person's doing a good thing. They're letting them get some sunshine, some direct sunshine. But the cage was right where anybody could knock it over or open it up, or some kid could come along, you know, and open it, or some screwball who just wants to do something stupid could open the cage up. Even if you put a lock on your cage, someone could tip it over. So if you're going to put your bird outside in a cage, you have to make sure that cage is so secure, and the doors and every door is closed so tight and secured, and then put it in a place where you can see it out the window, but nobody else is going to see it. You know, put it on your patio somewhere, or somewhere in the back by the back kitchen window or something where you can see it. Bird's getting a little bit of sun. You don't want your bird out in the real hot sun. You want them to have a little shade or filtered sunlight, or really early morning sun is good. And then bring them back in again. I'm really not for, I would be too afraid to do that, to put the birds out in a cage. There could be predators that come along, you know, stray dogs, stray cats could jump on the cage, and even if they can't get to the bird, they could scare the bird to death. So, third way birds get out is people putting their cage outside. Much better to keep it in a sunny room with the proper kind of window. So I contacted the lady and I gave her the suggestions about playing the YouTube videos, and she was kind of a dork about things, and she said to me, well, I don't mind that the bird is free, but I'm concerned about the weather. And I said to her, well, I hope you find your bird, because you know, whether or not the weather was freezing or was 80 degrees, that bird is pretty much a goner unless it's captured by someone, because it's going to get picked off by predators. Our pet birds usually are bright colored. They're different than the native birds, and they're easily picked off by sparrowhawks and other predators. Okay, there are all kinds of little hawks that eat birds. the next thing is that they don't have the proper kind of foods, and a lot of them don't even know how to forage for food. There's not much else to say except make sure your birds do not have access through a door or window to the outdoors, because the odds of you getting your bird back are almost non-existent.